Hey everybody, I am just here right now to talk to you guys about the Elements of Film packet that is a PDF that is posted up here in Canvas. It's an 11-page document, and if we were in school, I would have handed this to you guys the week of the visual analysis essay, and we would have spent the week kind of going through this step by step, page by page, talking about the different elements of film that you could use when doing your visual analysis essay. So instead of doing that, I'm going to have to ask you all to kind of read through this on your own, but I did just want to take a couple of minutes to go through the packet with you and talk about it in terms of how you can use this when it comes to writing your paper and doing your analysis. So as you guys know, from doing a visual analysis requires you to kind of break down information in a different way. We spend a lot of our times just kind of reading texts and reading essays and talking about that. And we did that rhetorical analysis essay at the beginning of the semester. It's kind of going to be like that, or writing a literary analysis essay or a rhetorical analysis essay, except this time you're going to be using the elements that make up a film. And you guys watch a lot of movies and a lot of TV. So you know about this. Now, obviously, one of the things you guys can talk about when you're writing your film analysis is you could talk about the basic elements of a film, plot, story. But then when we get into the actual how a movie is put together, you're going to want to start thinking about and using the terminology of filmmaking. So words like frame, shot, sequence, editing, cutting, all that type of stuff. As we go through, we have the general terms that we use when we are critiquing a film. We would talk about the types of shots that are used. We would talk about the camera movement. We would talk about the camera angles, editing, and then sound. Now, you can talk about each of these things in your essay. Now, your essay is only 3 pages. So if you just took a little bit of time talking about 3, 4, or all of these, what you would find is that you would get to your 3 pages very, very quickly, especially since you're going to be reevaluating just a part of a movie. The rest of the packet then goes into great details breaking down those different areas. So we have a whole section dedicated to talking about camera angles and what those look like and typically what those can be used for and what they can be used to do. Further into the packet, we talk about basic camera movements, right? Things such as a pan, a zoom, a tilt, a track. Paying attention to those things can really impact and influence how a scene plays out or how we interpret it. We also can talk about the sound of a movie, just not even the human voice and not even just the sound effects, but I mean, it takes the time to pay attention to the way music is used in a film and how music kind of informs us of how we should be feeling in the movie. So going through and reading about that will be really helpful. And then we also have this idea of editing. What does that mean in terms of the length of shots, the length of frames, and how those put together help create the story and tell us what is going on, and the different terminology that you can use when examining those elements of film as well. And lastly, even though it doesn't have one of the things that we can talk about is the use of color in film. This is actually one of my favorite things to draw people's attention to, just the way films are colored differently from one another and how, they'll use maybe filters or a blue filter on a film to make it appear colder than it actually is, or how some films will have a warmer light as them on them as well. So again, this is going to be definitely worth reading through in terms of getting your information together for the essay. So definitely take the time this week to examine this document as a PDF. You may even find it beneficial to print it off and read it. So please let me know and reach out if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.